focus on is the word love. I use the word love a lot in my presentations and when I'm talking to people and coaching people, and I realize that that's all well and good unless somebody has a different definition of the word love than what I have as a definition of the word love. And it got me thinking about how even the word love that I use now means something different to me than it did, say, 6 months ago or 9 months ago or a year or a couple years back as I've kind of continued on this journey. And what I have found to be true with a lot of people is that their definition of love is, it has kind of limitations around it. A lot of people, myself included, up until recently have experienced love from people being, I'm nice to you when you behave the way that I prefer for you to behave, and when you don't behave the way that I prefer, then I'm going to treat you differently. I'm going to punish you, I'm going to withhold my love from you, I'm not going to be as kind, I'm not going to be as patient, and until you start behaving how I want you to behave, then this is what you're going to get from me. And I know that I definitely experienced that in a lot of my relationships where the people were kind and fun-loving and happy to see me, but if I said something or did something that didn't really line up with what their expectations were, then I could get a negative behavior from them. And I also found that I did this to people too, especially like in my close relationships. I love my mom and dad, and thinking back 15 years ago, being a teenager, I love my mom and dad, but if they weren't giving me what I wanted, when I wanted it, and how I wanted it, then I just wouldn't treat them the same way. So my behavior and what I would give to people was based on their behaviors as well. And that's not really, to me, what love is. To me, that's more like, again, liking somebody whenever they behave to your preferences. And with that, it's kind of hard if you have that kind of story about what love is in your head. And I'm talking about, somebody treats you, someone's treating you that way, and I'm telling you to treat them back differently or just to love them in return. And you're sitting there looking at me like, but it's my husband. Of course I love them. I always love them. So I don't really get what you're saying. So I want to clear that up. Love is, this love that I talk about is, it's all accepting, all encompassing, no rules, no regulations. It is just 100% total acceptance, unconditional acceptance of another person. And I feel it is really our mission, our goal in life to really hit into our full potential, that this is truly meant to be the relationship that all human beings have with one another, an all-encompassing, all-accepting, unconditional love for one another. And this is what I'm striving to bring to all of my relationships. And in my relationships, I mean my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my parents, my sister, my nieces and nephews, but also the relationship that I have with the bank teller, or the people that I'm standing in line with, or my business associates, or the people that I network with. Everybody in my life, I'm looking to bring this all-encompassing, all-accepting love to the table. And a big reason for that is because I believe that at the core motivation of every person on this planet, just by being a human, that we are all seeking love and acceptance from one another. And I know that that's what I'm. And now, it took me a while to kind of get over the fact that I was one who would always say, well, I don't care what other people think. I don't care what they think. I don't need other people's approval. I don't need their acceptance. You don't have to love me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I say. You go do your thing. I'll go do my thing. But really, when I got honest with myself, why wouldn't I want to have this all-encompassing, all-accepting, unconditional love from everyone in my life? I mean, ultimately, if you could just have that, just that acceptance right off the bat with everybody, where I didn't have to think twice about what I said or how I dressed or how I looked or possibly offending someone or saying something wrong, just having kindness and giving kindness to everybody that I interact with. It's really something that I strive for now. So it allows me to watch my behaviors. It allows me to watch how when somebody makes a choice that isn't in alignment with my preferences, then it is my goal to not change how I treat them.